So Jason Tatum made an appearance at the ESPYs last night as a presenter for the Gatorade Best Male and Female High School Players of the Year. He also spoke on the ESPYs red carpet about his former Celtics teammate Jaylen Brown's trade. Listen to this.
If I'm being transparent, it's weird.
Yeah.
Right? I've been on the Celtics for 9 years, and he was my teammate every single one of those. You understand throughout, the course of a career that the NBA is a business, and people change teams and change coaches and front office, but it doesn't make it any easier. There's still a human element of it that you feel those emotions. The city feels those emotions. But there's also a side of, we have to welcome our new teammates in with open arms, and we still have to attack the new season.
Yeah.
So there's a balance, but it's weird.
Feels weird for Jason Tatum. Fair enough. Perk, what's your reaction to Tatum's thoughts?
Well, I'm going to say this. When I was traded from the Celtics in 2010, I believe it was, 2010, 2011, we shedded tears. You know what I'm saying? Like we had real tears, KG, Paul, Rondo, Doc, when we had to have that hard conversation that I was actually traded and moving on. Right there, it was key things that you look at. Jason Tatum said, yeah, it's hard when you've been teammates with a guy. He didn't call him his brother. So again, I'm not sitting up here saying that they had the best relationship or that they had to have the best relationship, because they didn't. At the end of the day, it answers a lot of questions that was out there about the relationship between Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. It wasn't a heartfelt message that went out from Jason Tatum on IG. He thanked Jaylen Brown for the years. He thanked him, for the run that they had winning the NBA championship. And then he went back to reverting and saying that, hey, just now in that interview, that it's business. And that now they have to move on, and he got to accept and deal with the new teammates that he do have. So, again, a lot of speculations were out there, but as people start to talk and we start to hear more from Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, things that we were assuming and the sources and information that we was gathering is coming to light, and it was true.
Yeah, I think, Shay, it's more about what Jaylen and Jason haven't said, like Perk mentioned there. It's because obviously Jaylen has had, streams, and he put out a very long statement that didn't include anything about the Celtics or any individual players. It wasn't just Tatum, Perk. He didn't talk about any of his former teammates. So it's not just about the Tatum-Brown relationship, although that's the most relevant one. How about whatever he's got to say about just about anybody on that team, including his former head coach and his former executive in Brad Stevens. So I think what we're seeing here, Shay, is an all-time epic. I'm going to prove the other one. I'm going to prove that I'm right by living better. And I think Jaylen is going to want to come out and have a great year with the 76ers and have the Sixers finish ahead of the Celtics and go farther in the playoffs. And it's being left unsaid that the Celtics believe this is no rebuild from the Celtics. They believe that they're going to be in just as good of a footing, maybe even better. They're expecting to finish ahead of the 76ers and go farther in the playoffs. It's going to be one of the most compelling storylines of the upcoming season.
So then, Wendy, who do you think has more to prove this upcoming season? These two teams met in the playoffs. 76ers got the best of them, and then obviously they were swept. Is it Jason Tatum or is it Jaylen Brown?
I think it's Tatum, because it was the Celtics that basically chose Tatum. Tatum didn't stop this deal. I'm not saying that, Brad Stevens came out after it and said, we consult no player. I believe that, but Jason Tatum could have stopped this from happening. Jason Tatum is on the side of the team that believes it's going to live well. It's going to prove itself right by living well. Jaylen Brown didn't choose the 76ers. The 76ers chose him. They didn't start this offseason saying we're going to build around him. They had an opportunity to upgrade to him. They went to him. I don't think the 76ers even know that this is going to work. I think they're going to try to figure it out. They don't even know if they're going to have LeBron James or not. I don't even know who's going to be on the 76ers starting lineup come September or come October. I do know what the Celtics are going to look like, and they think they're going to be just as good. So I think, look, they have rings. They're proven. They're bona fide. They have their contracts. They're going to be Hall of Famers. But Jason Tatum is the one who needs to prove that this decision was right.
You're damn right. And Jason Tatum is on the clock. when it comes to being under pressure, Jason Tatum is under pressure because the Celtics, they pick their side. They pick their golden child, and it is Tatum. He is the face of this franchise now, but he has been the face of this franchise even when Jaylen Brown was on the team. We've heard Jason Tatum on interviews saying that he feels like he's the best player in the world. We heard Jason Tatum on interviews saying, how he wants to win the MVP award. Well, guess what? The ball is in your court. And what Jaylen Brown did last year, outside of the postseason, finishing top 5 in the MVP as an MVP candidate, being a top 10 player in the league, having the Celtics as a number 2 seed, Jason Tatum is on the clock to prove that he could do the same or more. Like lead them not only in the regular season, but deeper into the postseason as being that guy. Not having the conversation whether or not it's a 1A, 1B, who's the first. No. Jason Tatum is the number 1 option. Can Jason Tatum be a guy like a Anthony Edwards, a SGA, a Luka Doncic? And when I put him in that conversation, meaning have the numbers throughout the course of the regular season. Can he be a guy that's going to finish in the tops in the MVP voting? Is he going to be a guy that when they step foot and make it to the postseason, can he lead them to a conference finals doing what he do, being the best player? Jason Tatum is on the clock and he's under pressure to prove that the Celtics made the right choice.
I am shocked that that no one went the Jaylen Brown route here, considering that he's playing essentially a rival in the East, and Tatum has already proven who he is for the Celtics. Nonetheless, time will tell. These two will play each other several times.
He didn't trade himself.
I know, but he did talk.
Jay, and sometimes it's good for us all just to get along.
Okay, for the time being. Let's move on to the next subject now. Each of the top 4 picks from this year's NBA draft have been balling out in the Vegas Summer League, where Windy said he has been over the last couple of days. A.J. DeBonsa scored 50 points in 2 games before the Wizards shut down the number 1 pick for the summer. Meanwhile, the 4th overall pick, Caleb, 4 points out in Vegas. And so, Windy, as I mentioned, I know you've been out there for a little bit. You're back now. But how much should we buy into these Summer League performances?
So in general, as someone who's been going to summer leagues for over 20 years, and again, I want to underline in general, okay? What you see in summer league is that players who perform poorly is more of an indicator of what their rookie season might be, as opposed to a player who plays well. I've seen hundreds of players have great summer leagues come into the season and still have all of the rookie problems. That's sort of the general rule. I'm going to be honest with you, all 4 of these guys are extremely impressive. I am thrilled with what I am seeing. I think we're going to be headed for a tremendous Rookie of the Year race. Now, Peterson is still playing. He played last night, and he did not play well. He shot the ball poorly. He's not shot the ball well in Vegas. He was great at the first summer league he played in Salt Lake City. But he has been very impressive to me. One of the things that's been most impressive to me about Peterson, Perk, he didn't have this many fouls last night, but he's been fouling a lot. And some people think that that's like bad, like, oh, he fouls too much. When he found out that you could get 10 fouls before you fouled out in summer league, he was like, I'm going to use 9 then, because I don't want to go. I want to try to, he's picking up 94 feet per